What's up, you guys? My name is Quincy, and I've just finished putting together the wedding that I did the past weekend, and I just got back from milling it off. But um, here's a certain effect that I did at the end. My last tutorial, I showed you guys how to get 1080p slow motion. An effect I did is I added particles to one of the slow motion scene, and I actually noticed. Another guy who uses the same technique. His name is David Lindbergh. His website is lindberghdavid.com. And he was actually selling a product that had these 4K, I don't know what you want to call them, but they're kind of like particles that you can overlay on top of your footage to give effect. Let me show you guys, because I actually used a similar effect in the wedding that I showed you guys. So I'm going to teach you guys today how to pretty much add particles to your footage to kind of give it a little bit more of a beauty look. So check it out. All right, so that's essentially the shot right there. Um, I'm actually going to show you guys how I created that shot. So we're going to start from scratch and create our own particles. Let's first start off by creating a new comp, and we're going to create a new solid. We're going to call this particles. Alright, so what we're going to do is go to Trapcode, and we're going to use Trapcode particular to make our particles. And so what I want to do first off, our particle type is going to be a cloudlet. And then for the life, I'm just going to set the life to 45. And also, we're going to bring the size down to 1.5. And then we're going to boost the size random to 100%. We're going to go to the opacity random, change that to 100%. And then we're done with the particle settings. Now we're gonna go to emitter. Come down to emission extras, and then what I like to do is do the pre-run, so my particles can already start appearing. And so what I like to do also is I like to have my particles come out, and then the next frame set it to 0. And so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Actually, I think that's a little bit too much, so we'll try 20 particles, and then we're going to keyframe it off to 0. So now we just have our particles floating in the air. So next thing I want to do, I'm going to go down to physics, and we're going to click on air. I want to give them a little bit of spin, so I'm going to set the spin frequency to 7, and then the spin amplitude to 7. And let's RAM preview that and see if it's too fast, too slow. Okay, it's a little bit fast though, so we're gonna go right back and we're gonna bring down the velocity, I'd say, to 20%. Let's actually see what that does, if it's a little bit slower or not. Okay, all right, so it's a little fast. We're going to zero out velocity for motion, velocity distribution, and we're going to zero out velocity random. Next, I want to change the velocity. We'll bring it down to we'll bring it down to 10. Next thing I want to do, our emitter type is point, so we want to change that from point to box. And then so now we can just spread out these because they're all bunched up. So we're going to spread out our emitter size X. So we can just, have them spread out, and then we're going to spread them out at the Y also. And so, all right, so let's kind of see how that behaves. All right, so it's a little bit too. It's too many particles, so I'm gonna say 5 instead. Okay. Okay. So let's see if that's too fast, too slow. Let's see. Okay. That's some weird. Okay. All right. So obviously it's spinning a little bit too much. Let me change down spin amplitude to 3. Maybe that'll. Okay, that's a little bit better. Gonna change the spin frequency to 3 also. Okay. So, and also let's just trim this comp. This is just this is just crude. Obviously for the final, I put a little bit more work, but I just want to show you guys the basic idea. So there we go. Okay, that's a little bit slower. So now we have it slowed down. We have it slowed down. I like that. I like that. So it's a lot slower. It's a lot slower. Okay. That's good. So now we have our floating. We have our floating particles now. So, but this is not where I stopped though. I actually added one more layer. I added a lens flare. So we're gonna create another solid and call this flare. And I actually used Video Copilot's optical flares plugin. So all I used was the glow effect. So we're gonna click off all of these. And we're just going to add in the glow effect. And so, sorry about that. All right, so what we're going to do is, I'm just going to put this up here at the right corner. And the right corner, and then I'm just going to boost the brightness up. Yeah, I'm just going to boost the brightness up, and let's put that up there a little bit more. And then also, so we're gonna go down to our render mode and we're gonna click on transparent. And it's gonna put it right over our particles. And so let me show you guys how that looks actually. So we're gonna bring this in and we're gonna put this over top. Let's actually pre-comp both of these, and we're gonna just put call our comp particles, and we're just gonna add it over here. So we added over our top of our slow motion footage, but right now it looks pretty ugly, and it's pretty, I mean, it's kind of, you can tell that it's there. And usually what I did, the point was to add it there, but I don't want it to be that noticeable. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go to effects and you want to put a fast blur on it. So this is what I did. Click on repeat edge pixels, and then I did blurriness to 5. And so now we have that nice blurriness. Next thing I want to do is it's a little bit too bright, so you want to change the opacity. Set the opacity to 20%. So now it's a little bit. So now it's a little bit better. Also, to the actual video layer, I actually corrected that a little bit also. So you guys know I love using the tint effect. So let me get this looking how I want it to look. All right, there we go. All right, so this is essentially what I did. And so let's RAM preview this real quick. And yeah, we got our particle system integrated with our slow motion footage. Let's RAM preview this and see how it looks. All right. And there you go. That's the slow motion footage for you with the particles added onto it. So that's just the basics of how you add particles in with the scene. I for one think particles in this type of situation is really beautiful. Slow motion shots like this. So I hope you guys found this tutorial somewhat useful and helpful to you guys. For anyone wanting to get more involved with particular, or wondering, you know, what could you use in certain cases, which I've used Trapcode particular in a lot of different cases, you know, from creating leaves, you know, and you know, leaves, snow, rain, a lot of different. So particulates is really powerful, and I definitely integrated with my footage though. But hope you guys love this tutorial, found it useful, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.